I want to talk to you just for a few minutes about a couple of guitars that are really special to me and I'm really thankful to have. They're built by a local luthier here in central Kentucky named Will Renshaw, who I was fortunate enough to get to know in the past few years and become friends with, and then eventually have him build a guitar or two for me. So today I want to show you those guitars. They're very different, but I want to show you some of the features of them and really just sort of talk to you just for a minute too about the process of these guitars being built, which was me meeting with Will and kind of giving him some basic size ideas that I was after. And then we sort of had a brainstorming about the theme of the guitar. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. And putting together all the elements, the binding, the kerfing, and any inlays or any and every choice in the guitar I was able to have input into, which is very unique and very fun and very exciting. So this isn't meant to be sort of a sales pitch, and I hope it doesn't come across that way because it's not. But I do think I would want to share that if you have an interest in having a guitar built that's very individual to you, sometimes a small luthier like Will is a really fun way to go. And this certainly was for me. And so these guitars are sort of, I would say maybe even extra special in the guitars that I've been able to have because they were built by one guy and this dialogue that took place. The first one he built for me is this guitar here, which Will likes his guitars to have a name, and we both agreed on the names of these guitars. And this one we call Trinity. And the reason was that when we talked about what the theme of the guitar would be, or what about my life I wanted reflected through the guitar, it was sort of a couple things. My faith, which the Trinity is sort of a big part of that, and then my children, which I have 3. So that number 3 was what we sort of locked onto. So this guitar is a very Martin style guitar, as you know. It's an OM guitar, kind of a straight up OM with a cutaway as far as the depth of the guitar and all the dimensions. It is a shorter scale length neck, and it is a 1 3/4 neck nut width on the guitar. So it has rosewood bindings on it. The back is just Indian rosewood, real pretty, and the sides. Will builds a 5-piece neck generally, and I really like the looks of it, and it has a lot of, I think, practical application. Ebony fingerboard and bridge, an ebony headstock overlay. So the references to 3 kind of appear on this guitar in a few places as we look at maybe a little bit closer here at it. Down on the bridge there's sort of an emblem with 3 in it. The first sort of iconic thing that I wanted on it was the Celtic knot with the 3, again the reference, and then sort of a circle that ties them together. Will's daughter sort of designed a Celtic cross with 3 dots in it that kind of complemented the theme. On the 12th fret, the markers are 3 dots instead of the traditional 2, which is kind of cool. Nobody really gets to see that much, but whoever's playing it. And then we have a smaller version of the Celtic knot here on the back, inlaid in pearl. And then on the butt end of the guitar, there's 3 strips of maple that Will put in, kind of again going back to that theme of 3. So it carries the theme throughout the guitar. I did want some inlay on it, and this guitar is pretty heavily inlaid for me. Rosette, there's a thin inlay around the top, kind of a Martin-esque inlay around the fingerboard. There's actually a real thin inlay around the headstock, which is really pretty. So those are sort of the characteristics of it, and I thought I would just strum it a little bit, maybe finger pick it a little bit so you could hear it. Let's use the pick first. Do some just a kind of familiar finger style thing here. And in both of these guitars, I have a K&K pickup system in them. Just their pure mini, which goes underneath the bridge, and then their preamp, which gives me sort of onboard volume and a phase switch, which I like. The other guitar that Will built for me is this guitar, which we call Autumn because it is a maple guitar. So this guitar is brand new. I've just had it a couple days, and I wanted him to build a guitar that didn't have any inlay, that didn't have any sort of material in it that wasn't wood, as much as we could do that. So that guitar is fairly heavily inlaid for me. So this one really is just a guitar that's sort of simple, and we wanted the woods to speak. And my favorite two woods, just because they sort of draw me to them and I think they're beautiful, is maple and koa, and I'm a sucker for flame maple like a lot of guitar players are. So that's what this guitar sort of started. Because of the maple and koa, we put some maple leaves on the fretboard. Looking at it a little bit closer, that our maple and koa, the headstock kind of got the same treatment with the koa and maple leaves on them. And that's really the only sort of artistic thing, I guess, that we did, other than trying to make it deliberately simple. So the rosette is koa with a fairly simple black line around it. The top has a very simple black line around it with koa bindings. And then, of course, we have flame maple sides on the guitar. And we chose to put a German spruce top on it. And part of the reason for that was we sort of tapped several species of spruce that he had available, and the German spruce sort of had the fullest and lowest pitched voice, which we thought might come in handy on a smaller body guitar. So that's kind of why we picked that. Both guitars have nickel Waverleys on them with ebony buttons. This guitar has sort of a reference to the maple leaf on it, like the other one had sort of the Celtic knot on it. This is a 5-piece neck, but a little bit different 5-piece neck, kind of a throwback to Gibson, sort of their archtop neck. And this is a Gibson L00 size, so that seemed to make sense to us, and it kind of makes it a little bit unique from my other Renshaw guitar. One of the cool things is on the inside of this, the back strip, he actually put a piece of koa on top of the back strip, so it sort of showed up, and shellacked the inside of the guitar before it was assembled. So even the wood on the back that's flamey, if you look through the sound hole when somebody's playing it, the flame sort of pops out of even the inside of the guitar, which I thought was a really cool touch that Will added to it. Again, a 1 3/4 nut joining at the 14th fret, and let's strum it a little bit and see what it sounds like. Putting our fingers on it. So hopefully you can hear maybe some of the differences in the guitars through this video, and just wanted to kind of take an opportunity and a real privilege to share Will's work with you. And again, it's something that if you were looking for maybe something different, or a guitar that you could really have input on from the wood all the way to the finish of the guitar, a luthier, sort of an individual luthier like that is a really unique way to go and a real fun way to go, and you end up with a guitar, I think, that means a lot to you. And Will didn't ask me to make this video. It's all of my own choosing, and I would say that Will has sort of a unique set of circumstances that I think make him a very gifted builder. And one is he's an excellent guitar player himself, and two is he's a dentist by trade, and so he's kind of used to micro details, and he has a shop that's up to date, state of the art computer-driven machines if needed. So all those things make him, I think, a builder that is able to do some pretty amazing things. So I'm just thankful to have the guitars, and I'm thankful that you took a few minutes of your time to check this out. Thanks for watching.